Hi, my name is Vishal, and I'm the CEO of Seclore, a company that is blazing the trail when it comes to data-centric security. Over the next 15 minutes, I'll talk about Seclore, what it does, and how it helps enterprises. But most importantly, I'm going to talk about why large enterprises around the world choose Seclore to protect their most confidential information. Right? I hope everybody can see my screen here. A little bit about Seclore. Seclore is a data-centric security company, and we have some of the world's largest enterprises, including companies like Temasek, CIMB, American Express, Allianz, Applied Materials, Flex, and so on, and 1,000 other companies like this using our technology to protect their most confidential information. We today protect more than 5 billion documents and emails as they go all over the place within the enterprise as well as outside. Some of the most dominant reasons that enterprises use Seclore are for reducing third-party risk, to make sure that information that enterprises are sharing to external outsourcers, payroll processors, lawyers, auditors, contractors, and the likes remains secure and compliant. We also do a lot of work in the general area of data-centric security, but more specifically in the context of emails, which are the most common dominant form of collaboration today, as well as any kind of data that is going to the cloud. Right. With that, I will move on to a little bit about what everybody here in the audience must be seeing as the context. Right. So if you look at enterprises, every enterprise today is going through a digital transformation. And if you look at any significant digital transformation project, where it could be collaboration with external agencies, employee self-service, adoption of the cloud, and the likes, some of the biggest challenges that stop these or hamper these digital transformation projects are around security, privacy, and compliance. So enterprises are not sure about security of the infrastructure, whether it's cloud, security of infrastructure that employees use when they're working from home or contractors use, lots of data breaches, which make the headline every day nowadays, and so on. And enterprises historically have had a very hunt and peck approach to solving these problems. Right? So what I mean by that is that each of these problems, security, privacy, compliance, cloud infrastructure, third-party risk, and so on, enterprises take a very hunt and peck approach, right? One problem, one solution kind of approach. And at a high level, what Seclore does is we commit that enterprises will have a straight road to digital transformation and not go through winding roads, which trying to go around one problem at a time. Right? Let me walk you through a couple of stories here of real life customers and how they're using data-centric security, right? Specifically from Seclore. So the first one is a very large 100,000 people plus financial services company. It's one of the global Fortune 50. And the challenges over there, just very similar to challenges that the team, the audience here is facing, is that the company was present in a lot of countries and it had privacy regulations in 90 plus countries that it had to comply to, right? And in this wake, confidential data was going home, especially in the last 1.5, 2 years or so of COVID. And a lot of confidential information was also going to the cloud as more and more cloud adoption started happening within the enterprise, right? And the default option in front of the company was to extend security controls that have existed within the enterprise, right? So device, network, application, identity controls, and extend those controls to cloud applications and people working from home and even third party. Now, this, as I'm sure all of you must be knowing, is an impossible chase. Right? It is virtually impossible to extend every security control that has existed within the enterprise to people working from home and third party and cloud and so on. Right? And Seclore's core technology, which relies on building security and privacy controls into the data itself, allowed today the enterprise to, number one, freely collaborate on the cloud, freely collaborate with third parties, freely let people work out of home, because the data that is going to the cloud or to the third party or to the employee working from home carries with it its own security. So the elements of data, a Word document, for example, or an email, itself carries with it its own security policies. Now, what this enables the enterprise to do is relax a lot of other security and privacy controls that it had had, like device level or network level controls that it had had. And besides extending security, the Seclore's technology also helped the enterprise in proving non-repudiation for enterprise privacy control. So not only does Seclore help the company to secure data that is going out to the cloud and to external agencies and employees working out of home, it also tracks what is happening to the data once it has left the command and control of the enterprise, right? Thereby proving security. Right? The second example I want to take is one of the world's largest materials research company. This is a company which has about 60,000 plus employees approximately, right? And in their case, again, there was a situation where there was increasing adoption of cloud, in this case, Microsoft 365 cloud. And in that context, a lot of confidential information, designs, fabrication plans, and so on, which were shared with external contractors and fabricators, which were spread all across the world. Right? Now, one of the biggest challenges in front of this enterprise was, how does one use the power of the cloud to collaborate with external agencies? And security and privacy risks came in the way. So earlier, the SharePoint and OneDrive and all the M365 services were restricted so that only employees could use the service. So a OneDrive folder could only be shared with people within the company, but not with people outside, right? And so on. And that led to clamping down of the cloud applications and its usage. And also the company had to take other measures to collaborate with these fabricators and these external agencies, right? And also there were very frequent, because the intellectual property was very highly valuable, there were periodic audits by consulting firms going to the halfway across the world and doing vendor audits to make sure that these external agencies are using the information in compliance to the company's security and privacy policies, right? These are very expensive vendor audits which were ongoing. With Seclore, the company was able to embed security and privacy policies into the data itself, so that data, when it's going to these third parties, or even when it's going to a OneDrive folder or a SharePoint location and then being downloaded by employees working out of home or to external or these third-party agencies, the intellectual property information carries with it its own security policies. Right? So, for example, once legitimate use of that information was over, let's say a fabricator had fabricated a part, then that information could be made to self-destruct, right? And this also allowed the enterprise to open up the cloud application for third-party collaboration, right? So now that SharePoint folder or the OneDrive folder could now be freely opened up to the third-party fabricator in a different part of the world, and collaboration internally or externally was totally seamless, right? Now, in all of this, what Seclore has done is that Seclore has created a central data-centric security platform, and I'll talk more about that. And on top of that, it has created a data-centric rights management system and a data-centric audit system, right? So the central system, there's a central platform. And on top of this platform, there are two capabilities which have been created by Seclore itself, which is the rights management and encryption capability and the data-centric audit capabilities. The rights management capabilities allow the technology to embed security policies into the information, and the data-centric audit capabilities allow that information to be monitored and audited even when it is going to the cloud or to third parties or to people working out of home. And along with that, we've built a whole host of integrations with other data-centric security capabilities, as well as data repositories of all kinds. Right? So, for example, we've built connectors to identity and access management systems like Google or Ping, Okta, Centrify, and the likes. We built connections so that DLP systems can be plugged in. DLP and CASB systems could be plugged in. So, for example, a DLP system which discovers confidential information via emails or on the endpoints can automatically seclore, which is to say protect that information wherever it is, right? Or a CASB system which discovers confidential information, for example, in a box folder, can automatically protect it within box. We also have integrations where classification and discovery systems like Bolden James, Titus, Firion, and the likes can automatically use the central platform to drive protection of the data once it is classified. Along with all of this, we've also built a lot of integrations with data repositories like SharePoint, SharePoint Online, FileNet, file server, storage systems of all kinds, mail and messaging tools, all kinds of email security and email infrastructures, including Google, Microsoft, and the likes. And we've also built a lot of connectors to security analytics tools like SIEM systems and other kind of event monitoring systems. Right? What all of this provides to the enterprise is a single pane of glass in which an enterprise can look at exactly what is happening to data, right? Which is, we believe, is the most important asset for an enterprise. Talking about the rights management system, the rights management capabilities effectively provide answers to these 4 questions and allow this policy to be built into the data. So the 4 questions are: who can access this information? So you could restrict documents and emails to be available to only a specific set of people within or outside of the enterprise. What can each of these people do? So very granular controls like viewing, editing, printing, forwarding, and so on. When, so how long can people continue to use this information? So it could be Monday morning to Tuesday afternoon, or it could be till the time a particular person is employed by the company, and the likes. And the last but not the least is from where can they continue to access this information? So you might say this information can only be accessed from the Singapore headquarters of the company, or this information can only be accessed from the CEO's iPad. So it could be device or network or geolocation based controls. All of this provides a very, very powerful method of protecting data, right? And just a quick view of the technology is that it works within native applications like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Gmail, and the likes. And users, as well as automated systems like DLP, can embed these security controls. And once these security controls are embedded, like who can view, who can edit, and so on, telemetry data, like who actually accessed this particular information, what did that person do, and the likes, comes back, and very rich analytics capabilities are built on top of this raw data. Right? So in essence, what Seclore has created is the data dashboard for an enterprise, right? Where is data? What is happening to it? How can it be classified and discovered? How can it be protected? And how can then it be monitored? And all of this under one central platform, which uses the best of breed capabilities of what enterprises already have. Like if you already have a DLP system, it can be plugged in. If you have a disk classification system, it can be plugged in, and it has the capability to work standalone also, right? What I would encourage everyone here is to have a look at Seclore's website, contact your representative for a more detailed evaluation. If third-party collaboration, data going to the cloud, email security of emails being exchanged within the enterprise or outside is an area of concern, you should definitely come and talk to Seclore. We look forward to talking to you. Thank you.